Ripple XRP. So we have JP Morgan talking about liquidity, and we're also going to be showing you the message about liquidity itself, but in terms of the markets and how we can play them. In addition to this, we're going to take a look at the Fednow system and how many banks are actually linked with the system. It really is important, and it just goes to show you what we could have with the adoption of that. The IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, has also come out basically saying that we are in the midst of a digital revolution, so you must stay tuned for that. We have some recent news about an acquisition that Ripple will be going ahead with, and also a legal expert has said to ignore the settlement rumors. And the price action of XRP and XLM coin we will take a look at. All I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and also to subscribe to the channel as well. So the first bit of news that we have is coming from JP Morgan, and over here we're basically going to be talking about liquidity and does it have value. Well, my answer right now is going to be that of course liquidity has value, especially when you have liquid assets. That is what is going to help essentially sell those assets and then turn it into cash very fast. It's basically about that conversion when it comes to liquidity, and when you have illiquid assets, unfortunately you're not able to convert it into cash as fast, and that could be many things, for example like real estate, when we have that massive problem. And so that is why we use solutions such as tokenization. But let's first take a look at this, and then we will be having a look at the Fednow system and just how many banks are actually connected on there.
Hello, this is Jan Lois, JP Morgan Long-Term Strategy. Today's question is, does liquidity have value? Well, the answer ought to be, well, of course it has value. We all know that more liquid assets that can be easily traded in the market at a tight bid-ask spread with little market impact tend to be getting a better price than those assets that are very illiquid, hard to get out of. It's been always an assumption of everything that we do, and we find it at the individual security level. However, again, this is something I'd like to challenge, because liquidity is indeed the ability that you can get in and out of markets. So when markets are really expensive, you could be selling. When you suddenly need the money, you can quickly get out. So it is worth something for an investor who's unclear on when they will need the money to be in liquid assets. So when they suddenly do need it, they don't incur a significant loss from having to sell illiquid assets. However, if you're indeed this long-term investor that I consider myself and that I always talk to, you have an idea that you don't really need that money immediately. You need it sometime in the longer term. And then having the ability to get out and to do market timing, having an ability should always be valuable, except when you don't use that ability well. And we find that the majority of us, myself included, individual investors, when we have the ability to do market timing, we tend to buy when there's really a sustained rally and sell when the market's been going down for a while. We tend to buy high and sell low, unfortunately.
And this is an unfortunate truth. I mean, we've seen it time and time again when it comes to a lot of individual investors basically buying when there is a rally. You know, when we see coins go up by 40 or 50% on the day, and they think that the coin will still go up, and so that is why they buy at that high price. But that is when the price is going to be coming down. It's going to tank, and so you actually make losses on that. But in terms of liquidity and that side of things, you know, if you sell your illiquid assets at a loss because you need the money, you're basically forcing that loss upon yourself. So what you really want to be doing is having those illiquid assets, but you should understand that you don't actually need the money as of now, and you should actually be having something else. So it's always key to prioritize and plan that, and make sure that you diversify your portfolio as well as your risk strategy. Over here from Mr. Man, we have some information about the Fednow system. It's very important. Around 400 financial institutions have now joined the system, with some major banks still in the process of connecting to the service. Now, the video is actually going to play and it is very fast, but I just want to show you some of these banks that we have over here. So we've got the American National Bank, we've also got Alba Bank, and we've got Asian Bank and Arcadian Bank. So this is obviously in alphabetical order. we're just going to take a look at this. And with the video, it does actually slide quite fast because of course there aren't many banks, but we'll just name a few. We've got Bank of York, Bank of Odessa. So we've got these banks within these states as well as the national banks. We've got the Citadel Federal Credit Union as well, Citizens States Bank. So you can see over here the amount of financial institutions that we are connected with this system. And the reason as to why this is important for us is because of the fact that Ripple could potentially be a partner with Fednow in terms of that technology. It has not yet been announced, but still there is some sort of capability with that. So over here from Cyprus Domenico, we have the IMF talking about the fact that we are in the midst of a digital revolution. I mean, especially with CBDCs as well, with the European region, they are actually looking at a digital euro, and it seems like as if they could potentially be coming out with their CBDC first before the US. And we have over here that the BIS identified 86 central banks engaged in some form of CBDC work, meaning that they're actually doing the research and in terms of the pilot program in order to get ready for the launch. And so we're definitely getting within to that market as of now. And over here it says that the findings of the paper suggest that to the extent that the digital money leads to higher transaction efficiency, and it could become more broadly adopted for cross-border payment purposes alongside existing currencies, and the benefits from lower transaction costs and greater financial interconnectedness could lead to greater diversification of risks, strong trade relationships, and integration of international payment systems. And in turn, these could spur the adoption of digital money as international reserve assets. It really is a change in times that we are seeing as of now, especially as we're using cash less and less. I mean, again, with these CBDCs, we are only seeing some use cases that have come out from Ripple in general, with the Republic of Palau and also with the National Bank of Georgia, and they're in talks with other governments as well. But this goes to show just how much benefits and value it can provide when it comes to digital money. And low transaction costs, you can't really beat that. That's something that we definitely need to focus on when it comes to the fees as well. So over here we have from the Crypto Basic that the legal expert says any rumors about Ripple versus the SEC settlement are nonsense. Now, I do believe that we had a court date for the 12th of February. However, we did get that 1 week extension from Ripple in relation to the information that they now have to provide to the SEC. And so I believe that it's going to be roughly around about a couple of days now until we actually get that information back to them. But there is no settlement as of now with the SEC and Ripple. It is all rumors. Let's take a look at what he said. He says over here that any rumors about a Ripple and SEC settlement are just nonsense if and until a settlement happens. This isn't something that leaks, and when settlement talks leak, it is often in some form of power play move for leverage. Don't trust the nonsense. I mean, a few people have been talking about the settlement, but I haven't seen the settlement being confirmed. And even if that was the case and it was floating around on the internet, I definitely wouldn't believe it, because we probably won't be seeing a settlement. Could even be as late as July. So we still have a couple of months left. But I thought I'd just actually let you guys know that, so you don't believe the FUD that is out there. So the price action of XRP coin today, we are currently trading at 0.5342. We are up by 2.94% on the 1 day chart. So we're doing better today. We are in the green. And for the volume, we are down by 5.63%, and we are trading at $1 billion in the volume. So the volume is still pretty decent though, to be honest with you, because we are usually trading at around about that $800 million mark. So in the earlier hours in the morning for today, we were trading at 0.525. You'll see over here the highest that we went to for the day was 0.5376 so far. I want to see if XRP coin can get to 54 cents on the day. On the 7 day chart, we are up by 6.32%. Really nice recovery that we've seen over here. From the start of the week at 0.5125, we've basically made a 2-cent move upwards. And I want to see XRP coin hold this 53 cent as a support level. On the 1 month chart, we're doing great. We are only down by 7.46% when we were originally down by 16%. And you can see this nice climb that we've had. And we've basically been able to beat this point on the 3rd of February at 0.5242. So let's see if we are able to maintain those price targets. Now let's take a look at the price action for Stellar XLM coin. We are currently trading at 0.114. On the day, we are also up in the green at 3%. On the 1 week, we are up by 5.6%. So on the 13th of February, we were at 0.112. And then yesterday, we fell to 11 cents. But now we have picked up a little bit. And on the start of the week, we were trading at 0.109. So we were below that 11 cent level. But still, we did actually hit 0.113 on the 10th of February. And now we've climbed up. So on the month, we are down by 5.6%. But the week is able to actually counteract that. And that's basically netted it off, meaning that we should be seeing more gains coming soon. I want to see XLM coin get to the mid-range of 11 cents first before we are able to go to 12 cents. Guys, if you want daily Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.